Good evening. I'd like to call the village board meeting for the Village of Cary for Tuesday, July 7th, 2020 to order with roll call, please.
Betts.
Here.
Collier.
Here.
McAlpine.
Here.
And Koenig is here. I will entertain a motion to allow trustees Kraus, Weinhammer, and Cavelli to attend this evening's meeting via telephonic devices.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll now move to the open forum where the public is invited to make an issue-oriented comment on any matter of public concern not otherwise on the agenda. We have nothing, no one has signed in. Everybody is here regarding agenda items. So I'll go ahead and close open forum at 6:03. I have a couple things on my mayor's report. I will entertain a motion to approve the appointment of D. Rick Dudek to the Board of Zoning, Planning, and Appeals with a 5-year term beginning July 7th, 2020, expiring April 30th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
A couple of things. We had an open process for an open ZPA position that we had just approved for an alternate or an associate member. But during the course of aligning all the interviews, I received a resignation from one of our sitting members who was relocating out of state. So I received that resignation just as we were starting to put together the interviews. So we folded this into the interview process. We interviewed 4 individuals. The process was a typical process that we had. Along with myself, we had our ZBA Chairman Patrick Corey, as well as our Director of Community Development, Brian Simmons, attending with the interviews with each of the candidates. It was a 2-day process, and we thought it was a very interesting process. There were, the 4 candidates were kind of all very diverse and come from different backgrounds and different areas of town, and we all were in agreement with the people that we are appointing this evening. So if anybody has any questions, please let me know. No questions being offered. Roll call, please.
Betts.
Yes.
Collier.
Yes.
Cavelli.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
McAlpine.
Yes.
Weinhammer.
Yes.
Thank you. And along with this too, I will entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Rick Walrath as associate member to the Zoning Board of Planning and Appeals with a 5-year term beginning July 7th, 2020, expiring April 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
This falls in line. Rick was the candidate we selected to be our brand new associate member. The first member that we have, we explained the whole process to him with regards to all the candidates, but what we were interviewing for. And this will be an outstanding fit for long-term growth of the board. We are very excited to bring some new individuals into the village with regarding our ZPA. So we're excited about it. With this, in conversations with our chairman and with staff members, each of these new members will be assigned a mentor on the board to help them along, and we will be providing additional training to really solidify their positions within the board. So we're very excited to welcome both Ricks to the Village of Cary and our ZPA. Any questions or comments regarding this appointment?
And they will be starting this Thursday.
Yes, we've got a full roster. I think you've got 4 cases. So roll call, please.
Collier.
Yes.
Cavelli.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
McAlpine.
Yes.
Weinhammer.
Yes.
And Betts.
Yes.
Thank you. Exciting opportunity for us. I am not aware of any trustee reports, so I will entertain a motion to approve consent agenda items number 1 through 3 and 5 as shown on the village's website and is displayed on the video monitor during the village board meeting.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Cavelli,
Yes.
Kraus,
Yes.
McAlpine,
Yes.
Weinhammer,
Yes.
Betts,
Yes.
Collier.
Yes.
Thank you. And number 4, I will entertain a motion to approve an ordinance granting approval of a conditional use for cannabis craft grower for the property located at 170 Detroit Street.
So moved.
Second.
Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. The request before the board this evening is for a cannabis craft grower, which is proposed to be located at 170 Detroit Street. There are representatives of the petitioner here this evening as well, so if the board does have any questions, they're here to assist with providing more information on the petition. Brief history on the property. It's owned M Limited Manufacturing. It's within the rear portion of the Cary Point Industrial Park. It was built back in 1995, and as part of our recent zoning update, the petitioner is just asking for conditional use approval for the proposed use at that location. As the board is aware, the state of Illinois last June adopted regulations for the operation of cannabis-related businesses within the state of Illinois. Specifically, June 25th, Illinois passed the Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act, which allowed for the licensing and inspection of those facilities by the state of Illinois, but allowed municipalities to adopt their own regulations as far as local control, zoning regulations as far as where they can be sited within the community. In November of last year, the Village of Cary did adopt our own regulations for cannabis-related businesses, for dispensaries, and in this case, craft growers, cultivation centers, and infusers. Which were, again, adopted in November and established certain regulations as far as how feedback. As far as how those businesses would be required to be located from adjacent uses. Specifically under the state requirements, there are standards as far as how much of a business for a craft grower can have for plants within the flowering stage, and then requirements that all of those operations need to be performed within an enclosed and secure area within a building, cannot be performed outside of a structure. They would be subject to random inspections through the state and other agencies that would regulate the operation of the business. And then they would be only, for a craft grower, would only be allowed to sell or distribute products produced at the facility to other craft growers, dispensaries, or businesses within the cannabis industry. They would not be able to sell directly to the public under this type of business. With the Village of Cary's requirements, within the regulations that were adopted by the village last fall, there are approximately 11 standards or conditions that need to be met for various types of businesses. They don't all apply to this particular business type. From the craft grower standpoint, there are some that were specifically designed for dispensaries, but specifically a fixed location would be required for the business that would be properly licensed, and all operations performed within a closed building in accordance with state requirements. The location, there were certain conditions as far as how close the uses could be to other sensitive land uses such as schools or churches. Specifically, the village adopted a separation requirement of 1,000 feet to those types of land uses. The image which is on the slide shows the closest facility within either direction of the school, which includes the Foundation Baptist Church, which is close to downtown Cary, and then also the Algonquin Road School across the river in Fox River Grove, which are both about 2,900 feet away from the proposed facility. There are restrictions that cannot operate a cannabis business within a residential district. With the zoning of this property and manufacturing, that wouldn't apply to this application. Need to provide adequate site lighting and security, which the petitioners provide information on security plan, which will comply with all, provide adequate lighting, but also comply with the state requirements for security of the facility. Other requirements within the Cary's ordinances included screening from adjacent land uses, which there's information provided in the packet showing how the property is screened from adjacent land uses. Access and visibility to the site needs to be controlled with primary access to the site provided off of Detroit Street. Any signage that would be implemented would need to comply with both state requirements but also village regulations. And the petitioner stated whatever signage is proposed for the building will comply with those standards going forward. Finally, the last 4 standards within the ordinance are hours of operation. As petitioners anticipating they'll have 2 shifts in the property beginning from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. On weekdays. Staffing will have about 20 to 30 individuals at peak staffing at this location. There would be no retail sales for this type of business, as is specifically producing the product to be sold at other locations. And then there would be no consumption on the premises as well. The petitioner did provide within their packet a number of frequently asked questions regarding the type of business that gives more information as far as how the business will operate and also how it will comply with the standards for both the village's regulations and the state's requirements as well. With any proposed zoning requests, variation or conditional use, there are certain standards that need to be met within the village's Unified Development Ordinance, which are summarized on this slide. Based off information that was presented during the public hearing before the ZPA in June, the ZPA believed that the recommended petition by the petitioner to comply with those standards, and they recommended approval of a conditional use for the cannabis craft grower for the property located at 170 Detroit Street, subject to conditions that are listed in the staff report and the proposed ordinance before you this evening. I'll be happy to answer any additional questions there may be from the board, and again, the petitioner is here to answer, provide additional feedback as well.
Let's start with our trustees that are on Zoom. Do you have any questions for our petitioner or for staff?
I have a question for Brian. This is Kim. The question I have is, besides inspections by the state, will the village be doing any inspections during, if the item is approved and they're a new business in town?
Yeah, as far as conditions with the approvals, one of the conditions with the police department or with the petitioner would be to coordinate with the police department on security plan or response to the plans. So in addition to the state departments that would be going out and performing inspections, the police department or village will be involved in potentially inspecting the facility to ensure it complies with all conditions of approval.
I just want to make sure I heard you right. So will there be random inspections throughout the years while they're there, or just the initial inspections?
So from a permitting standpoint, we would have the initial inspections, but from if there are conditions placed on the business from an operations standpoint, the village will regularly be involved in coordinating with the facility and may perform inspections of the facility throughout the year as well for life safety and other operational issues, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions for the board here?
It's not. Yeah.
I'd like to hear from the petitioner if they have anything to say before I see if I have more questions.
Before that, Brian, what type of feedback did we get from the surrounding residents, especially the residents that are in Mildred?
Sure. Actually, from a feedback standpoint, we did not have a lot of activity from community as far as comments. There was one resident that attended the ZBA meeting that was directly behind and indicated that he had some comments and concerns from the neighborhood as far as lighting and general odors that may be generated from the facility. Petitioner did provide feedback in that during the zoning board meeting. He was satisfied with the response.
Okay.
But we did not have a significant amount of comments coming in from the neighborhood.
That's what I thought. Thank you. Now, can we have the petitioner come forward, please?
Hi,
Hi, thank you.
my name is Nico Halzinitis. I'm the manager of Illinois Collective. And on behalf of our team, we'd like to thank the mayor of the village and the citizens of Cary for considering approving a conditional use permit for us. Really what we are is we're excited to operate a successful business in a wonderful community. and there's no doubt that we believe will be a positive impact to the community. We look forward to, we'll make our building readily available to law enforcement, local village officials, work with the community to be successful on all fronts. And if there's any specific questions, I'd love to address them.
Trustee McAlpine, did you have a question?
Well, I mean, we talked a little bit beforehand. I felt like you guys did a very good job with explaining a lot of the questions ahead of time with your frequently asked questions. I like the fact that you're donating 2% of your proceeds of the profits for community type of things, including substance and treatment. I looked at how you buffered. I went out to the site. I think that from a location standpoint, it's nestled nice in there. I asked you questions about the odor as well, just because I saw this triple filtration center, this whole system that you had, and I wanted to make sure that there wasn't going to be a fume coming out of there that was Cheech and Chong style, something where people are going to be like, wow, what's going on there? And you answered that, I think, effectively. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that triple filtration system. I think that's, you did talk about it at the ZPA, but I think that you've addressed the issues. I think bringing something new like this in does require a lot of questions and a lot of follow-up, and I like the idea that you're going to be available to the police for future inspections or any type of compliance things that may come up. Because I think it's going to ebb and flow a little bit, some of these changes, and you need to be nimble with it as well to know that, hey, there's probably some adjustments that are going to be made with it.
Yeah, we will make constant adjustments, to any concerns that are coming from the local community or the village. There'll be a constant adjustment on our end to mitigate any risk, smell, anything that has to do with, our business thriving in the community. We're here to be completely transparent and work with you guys. And obviously at the end of the day, safety is the utmost importance for us. So security plan, working with the local law enforcement is top of our concern.
Thank you. Any other questions for the petitioner?
I just have one question. Do you have another business like this, or is this a startup business?
This, for me personally, I come from a regulated, I was in the lending business, so it was highly regulated industry, and took that knowledge of knowing how to, navigate through the regulatory landscape within this business. We put together an unbelievable world-class team of people within each area, from the grower to the security team to the community engagement planning, and really, so it's the team together as a whole, which is going to make us thrive. Me at the head of the thing, making sure that, the regulatory and the compliance aspect, which is a very, very detailed, heavily compliant, regulated business. And it's probably one of the most important things to keep your license is to stay within the guidelines. And so it's priority number one, keeping the license if and when we get the license. So we are still waiting to be approved, from the state, and it's a risk that we took. And, we think that we have a great chance of doing it. And, being in a community like this and having the right building and everything kind of lining up, is in our favor.
But to help answer the question, so this is your first craft growing
Yeah,
operation?
absolutely. This is, there are no craft grows in the state of Illinois, so this is really everyone's first craft grow, unless, it came from another state. But it's, we're bringing in people from out of the state that are experienced in doing it. So it's my first rodeo, but our, with the team, they're deeply experienced.
Thank you. No other questions? Roll call, please.
Kraus,
Yes.
McAlpine,
Yes.
Weinhammer,
Yes.
Betts,
Yes.
Collier,
Yes.
Cavelli.
No.
Thank you. Welcome to the Village of Cary. Good luck with your operation.
Thank you. Thank you. We look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to items for a separate action, I will entertain a motion to approve a resolution approving the guaranteed maximum price proposal with Frederick Quinn Corporation in the amount of $9,516,801 for the construction of the new police station and village hall facility.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Jake, you going to handle this?
Eric will be doing the next two, if he's on the phone.
Eric? Eric?
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
As the village board is aware, for the past several months, dating back into the end of 2019, the design team has been busy moving the project along, finishing up our initial space needs assessment, schematic design process, and design development process. So at this time, the construction manager, Frederick Quinn Corporation, that was selected via our qualifications-based process to represent and construct the project on our behalf, has analyzed the design development documents, worked with our team from the beginning to help ensure a collaborative, efficient process, and look for any items that might come up later during construction and address them, and has developed their estimate for what will be the guaranteed maximum price for the project. With the construction manager as constructor delivery method, it's a little bit different than our traditional design bid build process. The construction manager is the single point of contact, which has the benefit for us of helping fast track the project and make a much more manageable process given the complexity of this type of work, giving us a single contract based on a number being considered tonight. So the number developed by FQC, as noted in the packet, is a little over 9.5 million. That is the construction manager's portion of the project. There are other project soft costs that are in the overall budget, which then, if you factor in the estimates at this time for those items, which include things such as technology, furnishings, equipment, testing services, and permitting and so forth, our overall project budget is still estimated to be around $11 million, which is below the target, or roughly at the target that is been designated for us based on our bond proceeds that are in progress. So with that, I can entertain any questions you might have.
Thank you, Eric. Do we have any questions for Eric regarding this project? Okay, roll call, please.
McAlpine,
Yes.
Weinhammer,
Yes.
Betts,
Yes?
Collier,
Yes.
Cavelli,
Yes.
and Kraus.
Yes.
Thank you. This is an exciting opportunity for the Village of Cary. This board has been working very hard with staff and our vendors to make sure that this is going to be an unbelievable opportunity for our residents and businesses in Cary. So stay tuned. It's going to get pretty exciting here. So thank you very much for everybody's support, and we look forward to the groundbreaking sometime in October. Moving on, I will entertain a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the village administrator to execute an amendment to the Well 10 rehabilitation contract with Midwest Well Services, Waupun, Illinois, Wisconsin, in an additional amount not to exceed $77,670 for a total contract value not to exceed $167,683.80.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Eric, do you have comments on this?
No, this is part of our current Well 10 project that was previously approved. So with the first step in the work, we're just pulling out the existing well and motor that are located several hundred feet below the ground. Part of that initial scope was to do some televising and give an assessment of the casing pipe that goes all the way down to the ground. Based on that video and that assessment, it was determined that the casing pipe did have some issues, given that it was put in place in 1981 and has definitely served its purpose and been very good production, a very productive well for us. The recommendation before us to repair this issue with the casing is to do a liner, which is much more cost effective than the alternative, which would be to actually drill a new well somewhere else on the site. Like I said, this is much more cost effective, cheaper, quicker, and also guarantees a better chance that we will maintain the good flow rates that we are experiencing currently with this well. We recommend approval, and even with this additional out-of-scope item to the contract, the overall project budget, when combined with the new well house and treatment plant replacement that is also part of the project, we are still below the overall budget.
Good news. Thank you for all the attention to this. Any questions for Eric?
No.
Roll call, please.
Weinhammer,
Yes.
Betts,
Yes?
Collier,
Yes.
Cavelli,
Yes.
Kraus,
Yes.
And McAlpine.
Yes.
Thank you. Administrator's report. Jake, you got anything for us?
Mayor, Village Board, just continuing on the theme of our new building, we will be closing on our bond sale tomorrow. So I really appreciate the work that Finance Director Descharmes has done on the project, along with our bond counsel, our underwriter, and Spear Financial, our financial advisor. So there's been a lot of people that have had a hand in this, and very happy with how the process went. So we're planning to have the money in the bank tomorrow, which we're really excited about.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Chief Finland?
Two things. First is that we are in the process of soliciting candidates for our police testing. The written test will occur August 15th at Cary Grove High School, and the positions being publicized on both the Blue Line, which is a website that's used to advertise police and fire positions, and then also at Cops and Fire Personnel Testing Services on their website as well. The second thing is, with the expiration of all the emergency executive orders and their subsequent extensions, we are again processing solicitor permits through the police department. So just so everyone knows that there may be people going door to door again based on their ability to conduct that type of business activity. And we've already had some ice cream vendors and at least one solicitor come in for their background investigation. So just in case there's any feedback in regards to that, that's what's occurring there as well.
Thank you, Chief. Director Simmons? Thank you. Director Morimoto, you have anything else for us?
Nothing for this evening, thank you.
Thank you. Any future agenda items and discussion by the village board?
No.
None said. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There are no nays. We are adjourned. 6:29. Hold on, we will be right back.